my F1 visa has been approved. Any sort of questions that they're going to ask you is based on what you have completed in your DS-160 form. So if I said yes, most probably my F1 visa would have been rejected because that's intention or indication that I want to stay. Immature, well, I do want to, but that's not what they want to hear. I rebooked my flight. Okay, now you must be wondering, flight, where are you having your interview, right? So I flew from the UK to Belfast because Belfast has also got a US embassy. So for my interview, I took the initiative to fly to Belfast. Problem in all the feeling. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me once again back onto my channel. My name is Belinda, and if you've not already subscribed, guys, please don't forget to press the subscribe button as well as turn on your notification bell so that you get a notification every time I upload. Okay guys, so if you are an oldie, welcome back. If you are a newbie, hi, my name is Belinda. I am a registered nurse here in the UK and a prospective international student in the US. So as you read from the title of this video, guys, today I will be talking about my F1 student visa experience in regards to my interviewing process, what kind of questions they asked me, the whole interview day basically. So if that is something you are interested in, or you are in the process of applying for your F1 visa, or you are planning to apply for it, then I'm going to tell you guys on what to expect in regards to your F1 visa interview. Guys, if you are interested in this F1 visa student content, guys, you would want to stay tuned because I am bringing out a series on my channel. Me and my series, I will be bringing out a series on my channel in regards to my whole F1 visa experience from step one, which is applying to university in the US, up to the point of actually my F1 visa being approved. So if you are interested, guys, in what I have to say, then please keep on watching. So I initially made an appointment for my F1 visa interview on the 9th of March. However, I had to reschedule it, and the reason for this is because when I was preparing myself for my F1 visa interview, I came across the fact that I need to have the original hard copy of my I-20 rather than having a scanned out or a printed copy. So I had to wait for the university in the US to post it over to me here in the UK. So that took a good 1 week. So I had to reschedule it for a week later. Once it was approved, I rebooked my flight. Now you must be wondering, flight, where are you having your interview? So I reside in the UK and I flew from the UK to Belfast because Belfast has also got a US embassy. So for my interview, I took the initiative to fly to Belfast. So I flew out on the 15th of March. My interview was on the 16th of March. And then I flew back to the UK. First things first, F1 visa interview, the way you need to go about it is firstly, I get some sort of understanding what is it about. Once you have an understanding what it is about, then you will have a clearer understanding of the kind of questions that they may potentially ask you. Now, when I was preparing for my F1 visa interview, I prepared myself, I would say a good 1 month, I prepared myself for potential questions that they may ask me. I was going through YouTube videos, Google questions, you know, anything that I typed in the search bar, F1 visa interview questions. Loads and loads and loads and loads of questions came up. In addition to that, the university helped me, to be honest with you, in regards to preparation for potential interview questions. I'll try and insert them over here on the screen for you guys to have a look. So the university, they did send me potential questions that I may get asked on my F1 student interview. However, as much as these YouTube videos that I've watched and Google questions that I have seen and some of the questions that the university sent me, 90% of these questions were irrelevant to me because these questions were not based around my own personal circumstances in regards to my finances, how I'm going to finance myself, my travel history, am I well traveled, my relatives, where do they live, my prospective plans, my current career, you know, all these kind of things, because everything has to link according to your own personal circumstances. You're going to hear this quite a lot in this video, your own personal circumstances. Keep that in mind because I am going to be emphasizing on that quite a lot. So like I said, 90% of the questions that I came across were irrelevant to my personal circumstances. So that means back to the drawing board, right? So what I did is I pulled out my DS-160. I literally studied my DS-160, which I'm going to have a whole video on again about the DS-160, how to complete it, etc, 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 which is going to be part of my series as well. The DS-160, guys, is something that is going to be with you forever, and you need to know what you've put down on your DS-160 like the back of your hand, okay? Because any sort of questions that they're going to ask you is based on what you have completed in your DS-160 form. Now, coming up to days and hours, especially the last few minutes leading up to your F1 visa interview, you are going to be nervous. It's a big thing, and it's also a human thing to feel nervous, but it doesn't matter how nervous you are going to be. I would say try to be prepared as much as possible, because the last thing you want to do is come across as if you are hiding something or you are not being truthful, which may not be the case, but because of everything that's happened, you don't have the adequate answers to it at that point in time, and that's all right too. So what I would advise you guys to do, if you have someone who knows the application process that you're going to, communicate with them, talk to them, let them ask you the questions, let you answer back to them, you know, verbalize that so that you can hear how you sound like, the kind of responses you're going to give to potential questions that they may ask you. For me personally, I didn't have someone that I could communicate to back and forth answering questions, so what I did is I stood in front of the mirror. I asked the questions and I answered them. Technically, I was having a dialogue on my own, because it was like, I asked the questions, I answered. I asked the questions, I answered. And for me, that made me more at ease, because it made me feel like, okay, you know what, Belinda, you can answer these questions and this is how you sound like. And it may sound crazy, but for me, it helped me to formulate my words and my sentence construction effectively, because I don't want to come there and sound like I am unsure of what I'm actually talking about, if that makes any sense. If not for anything else, guys, try to record yourself. I know it's like, do we really have to go to that extent? And this is what I'm going to say. My opinion is prepare yourself as much as you possibly can, because this is the thing, you don't know who you're going to get. So quick disclaimer, guys, bear in mind that whatever answers you are going to give, make sure that it doesn't only make sense to you, it also makes sense to the person that's actually asking you the question, because that is the message that you're trying to bring across. You are trying to sell yourself so that your visa can actually get approved. So on the day that I went, obviously I came, I stood in line. There was a couple of people in front of me already. I did arrive an hour earlier because I wasn't too sure where I was going to, so I'd rather be early than late. The security guy asked me, what's your name, to see if I'm actually on the list, and I told him my name. He said, can you show me your ID, which I showed him my passport. So on the day of my interview, there are certain things that you are not allowed to go in with into the US consulate, and that is basically you can't take your phone or any sort of electronics with you. You have to leave it downstairs in the security area. You have to leave your bag. You can only take out the documents, and they gave me a visiting card. When they gave me my visiting badge, guys, I went in. There was a receptionist there. She told us for us to take a seat, and then the receptionist started calling us one by one. What they wanted from us at that point in time is our ID photos, our DS-160, our I-20 financial letter stating how we're going to pay the course, admissions letter, and then she just made note of it. And then we went back to sit, and then all of a sudden I hear, Belinda, to the interview booth, please. So I stood up and I went, and literally, guys, literally, interview was less than 5 minutes. So the next pointer, guys, would be your documentation. Very, very important. If you're gonna forget anything, you rather forget yourself, but don't forget your documentation. I'm gonna have a different video in regards to the documentations that I took along with me based on my own personalized application that they wanted from me to present to them. However, I do believe the common documents that most prospective students would bring to this interview would be your passport, your DS-160, I-20. If you are applying for the F1 visa, it would be I-20. If you're applying for the J1 visa, it would be your DS-2019. Okay, but I'm not going to get into details with that because that is irrelevant to me. I did not apply for the J1 visa. I applied for the F1 visa. Now, the way you want to arrange your documents is according to how they have provided you the list. So if you get a list of all sort of documents that you need to bring along, arrange it chronologically. Okay, that will make it easier by the time they ask you to present your documents, for you to just be pulling it out on the day of your interview rather than looking around. So what I did is I got myself a folder, and the way I've put my documents inside in accordance to the list that they wanted me to bring the documents in, if that makes any sense. So get that in hand. So the first question they asked me is, so you already a registered nurse in the UK? And I'm like, yes. Next question that he asked me is, so you want to work as a registered nurse in the US? I immediately clicked on that he was trying to catch me out. So if I said yes, most probably my F1 visa would have been rejected, because that's intention or indication that I want to stay. Immature, what I do want to, but that's not what they want to hear. That's where he was trying to catch me out. So he says, what's the end goal here? I said, for me to complete my DNP. So the DNP is the doctoral nursing practice, and after the DNP, I can specialize to become a CRNA. So that's what I said to him. And then he was like, so DNP, which is equivalent to PhD. I'm still trying to think, like, are we talking about the same thing here? So anyway, I don't want to argue with the consulate. I just said, because you don't want to say, no, it's like this, it's like that. You know, you just let it be. That was my questions done in regards to my studies. So as much as I live in the UK, and I've been in the UK now for the last 8 years and something months, okay, I did not use my British passport to apply. I used my Swiss passport to apply. So my whole international student application process in the US, I use my Swiss passport to apply rather than my British passport, if that makes any sense. So they asked me, when I presented them with my Swiss passport, did I fly from Switzerland to come to Belfast for my F1 visa interview? So when they asked me that, I had to say, hang on a minute. I live in the UK. I have my British passport, which I've shown to them. I have got my South African passport. I've got my Swiss passport. However, I choose to use my Swiss passport out of all the passports. So after answering that question, the next question that was to follow is, why did I decide to use my Swiss passport to apply for my F1 visa processing? And I'm standing there thinking in my head, why not? However, what I told them is, at the time when I applied for university, I didn't have my British passport then, because that was back in 2021. I received my British passport in 2022. So at that point in time, I had my Swiss passport, and I decided to use my Swiss passport to apply to the university. So next he says, according to your DS 160, we see that you have stated that you have a Swiss passport, a South African passport, as well as a British passport. You obviously applied with your Swiss passport. Can we see the rest of your passports? So obviously I applied with my Swiss passport. However, I do have my British passport, but then I also have my South African passport. So once again, guys, that is an indication that, okay, I have lived in all of these countries. I am actually well traveled. I believe that was one of the advantages on my application. So these people, they're not even excited for them to say you've been approved. And you know what? I get it, but I don't get it, okay? Because they're like, probably he's been saying that the whole day. So he's probably like, you know what? I'm tired. And then he said it in a very subtle voice, like, you got it. I said, sorry, you what? You've been approved, so we'll send you back your passport in the next 7 days. And I'm like, Obviously, I don't want to scream or cry or get emotional. I just stood there and I said, thank you very much. Have a good day. And then he handed me an orange slip. So on the day of my interview, I did encounter an unexpected fee that I had to pay, which is the reciprocity fee, also known as the issuance fee, I believe, which is basically a fee that you have to pay to the US consulate after your visa has been approved. Now, depending on what passport you use to apply, it is not applicable to all citizenship holders. So had I have applied with my British passport, I would not have to have paid this issuance fee. Okay, however, I used my Swiss passport, which I needed to complete an issuance fee, which I paid $350, which is valid for 60 months, so over a 5-year period. So my F1 visa has been approved. So any tips and advice I would give you guys is to be prepared. Have a positive mindset. I think having a positive mindset goes a long way. If you tell yourself you're going to get it and that you know why you're doing what you're doing. I would say the most important thing in this whole interview processing would definitely be confidence. You have to have some sort of adequate knowledge what the course is about. You need to be able to liaise with them. Why is it that you want to study this, and what are your future prospective plans with this course? Hence, doing your adequate research prior to your interview in regards to everything related to the course, the university, the state that you're planning to go to, etc., 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 is very, very important. In addition to that, guys, gather all the necessary documents and place them in order that will back you up according to what you have put down on your DS-160 application. Okay, very, very important. And lastly, guys, is outfit, right? And people may say it's not that deep. It is deep, because you want to dress how you want to be addressed. Dress how you want to be addressed. When I went there, what I was wearing, formal. I was wearing a formal outfit, nothing too formal, but formal. So like a blouse and formal trousers, you know, closed up shoes. My hair was tied up in a bun, limited jewelries. I think I had studs in, and that was it. I'm not saying that you may be rejected by the way you are dressed. However, if you are dressed more formally, you are taken more seriously. Simple. So guys, this is my overall experience. I'm so excited for the, you know, next step, which is obviously to book my flight ticket and to get out of this country, okay, and start something new. I'm gonna obviously have a series on this channel. I'm gonna have the whole shebang on this channel. So if that is something that you're interested in, please stay tuned for that, okay? Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, guys. And if you've got any questions, guys, please do ask them down below. I'm more than happy to answer these questions. But for now, guys, this brings me to the end of my video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye.